Our title of this lesson is Remodeling the Ark. Before I get into this, let me just clarify something. If you watched the two podcasts before this, I got the same shirt on. I'm in the same place. And that's because I record them one right after the other. It's just easier to do it that way. So I got more than one shirt, y'all. But anyway, just want to clear that up. But remodeling the ark. God told Noah in Genesis 6:14 through 16, he said, Make thee an ark of gopher wood. Room shalt thou make in the ark, and shalt pitch it within and without with pitch. And this is the fashion which thou shalt make it of. The length of the ark shall be 300 cubits, the breadth of it 50 cubits, and the height of it 30 cubits. A window shalt thou make to the ark, and in a cubit thou shalt finish it above. In the door of the ark shalt thou set in the side thereof, with lower, second, and third stories thou shalt make it. So God gave Noah specific instructions for building the ark. He told him the length, width, height, where to put the door, window, etc. He told Noah to pitch it within and without with pitch. The pitch was a waterproof gluey substance they made. And I'm sure it was difficult and messy to work with, but it was necessary. And by putting it within and without, basically provided the ark with an armor that made it exceptionally strong, durable, and waterproof. Now let's just say after about 90 years of Noah working on this ark and preaching, we know they didn't have the first convert. No one was interested, and I guess nobody even came and listened to a preacher. I don't know. They didn't make fun of him, so I guess they heard some of it. What if Sister Noah said, Brother Noah, we need to make some changes to this ark. It's just a boat. It's just a boat, Brother Noah. We got to make this thing more appealing. We got to spruce it up some. Make it look a little different than what it looks. We need to get rid of that pitch, Brother Noah. It's ugly and it smells and nobody likes it. Maybe we want to add a door in the back. Some might be too embarrassed to come in the front door. Let's make it easier for them. Maybe widen the door in the front some. Let's put up some curtains. We can put a slogan on the front door that says, Come float with us. Add some windows for fresh air. We can whitewash it, make it more appealing. Well, is that what some are trying to do here in the last days? Remodel the church to make it more acceptable and appealing? Add some things, take some things away, add doors, widen doors. That hole in this stuff is ugly and old-fashioned. We need to do away with that. Nobody likes it. Well, the pitch on that ark is what kept the water out. Without the pitch, the ark would not have floated. Without the pitch, the water would have seeped in and eventually sank the ark. The pitch was ugly, I'm sure, probably smelly. It wasn't pretty, but it was absolutely necessary, because without it, the boat, the ark, would not have floated. Some want to remove holiness, separation from the world, sanctification, etc., from the church today. They say that stuff is ugly, it's old-fashioned, it's not needed, it's not appealing, nobody likes it. But this is what God helped me to understand. Pitch for the New Testament church is holiness, separation from the world, sanctification, etc. This is what keeps the world and sin out of our lives and out of the church. It provides an armor for us, a safeguard from harm and danger. Without it, the world will seep into our lives and we will become full of the world and sin and will not be able to float through the air to meet Jesus. Hebrew word translated pitch also means covering or atonement, a safeguard, or to save from sin and danger. Sorry, but the modern day church needs pitch. That is holiness, separation from the world, sanctification, and serving. Without it, our boat will not float. You know, there's just a tendency today to make fun of what I call the old timers, which in my vocabulary, that's a very respectful term. They built most of the buildings we're in. They planted the spiritual fruit trees we eat from. They watered them, took care of them for us. Are we letting them die? You know, in modern society today, some want to take the American flag down and burn it. But the day will come when they will wish they had that flag flying over them and what it represented. And some today want to remove standards. Say they're old-fashioned. Standards are the flag of the church. It is what we stand for and represent. It is what God requires. We're told to dress certain ways because we're representing our church and God. We are the banner of the church. The day will come when they will wish they had held on to what they taught us and left us. They want to whitewash the church. They'll preach a soft message. You know, make it more appealing for people to like it better. I've even heard it said, I heard this from on 2 ears. It ain't secondhand information. I heard it said that the Ananias and Sapphira situation will not fit in the church today. He said, how would that look today? That was a statement. How would that look today? Well, in my opinion, it would look real fine. Let me explain this to you. This was not God. This was God's judgment, not man's. And as a result, read the Bible. A deep sense of awe at this display of God's judgment produced a sincere respect for apostolic authority in the newly birthed church. Acts 2:42 through 43 says, and they continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine and fellowship and in breaking of bread and in prayers, and fear came upon every soul. And many wonders and signs were done by the apostles. The commentator said, miraculous and unexplainable events brought a deep sense of fear or awe to those who witnessed them. And folks, the church needs this today. So many today have left the fear and respect of God. They've left that. Don't respect God. Don't fear God. But this is needed in the church today. But without that fear and that respect, we're not going to honor His word. We're not going to be committed to His character or His lifestyle. We're not going to be committed to coming out from among them. We're not going to be committed to living a separated life, a sanctified life. If we don't fear and respect God. I've mentioned to my family several times over the last several years that we do not see the judgments of God like we used to. I've seen them. And my only explanation is that we have lost the power of prayer and respect for the things of God. The Bible talks about a form of godliness, but denying the power thereof. I read an article years ago that quoted an old Methodist preacher. He said the mistake they made was that they quit preaching against sin and started trying to manage it. And that is the one thing I have noticed. So many today preach against the word sin, but rarely name any. You find very few articles written today that name sin. There again, they'll mention the word sin, but where does it go? When the floodwaters in Noah's day started rising, nobody said make a bigger door and I'll get on. Nobody said get those stinking animals off there and I'll get on. Nobody said quit preaching the world is going to be destroyed and I will get on. Don't scare me with that stuff and I'll get on. No, they just want it on. I'm afraid one day so many will have a clear understanding of the things of God. But it will be one day too late. Now let's say if Noah had remodeled the ark to make it more appealing, what he would have done, he would have destroyed the thing that saved him and his family. And today we can make the church like we want it, to fit our lifestyle, make it more appealing to others, but in so doing, we can destroy the very thing that will save us and our family. Our ark, the church, is already built. We need to quit trying to remodel it and just get in. We cannot change the gospel. You know, folks, this was established years and years ago before we were ever even born. We don't have the authority to change nothing. We just got to make the decision, are we going to obey and get in? Or what are we going to do? To be in the church is more than just coming and sitting in this building. The building is not the church, it's just a place where we meet. We're not in the church unless we're obeying and practicing His word. His word cannot protect us from this untoward generation unless we obey it. In other words, we have to be holy, dress modest, come out, love our brothers and sisters in the Lord, etc. Now, I've seen people in town from a distance and think, that looked like brother or sister so-and-so. But them, no, it wasn't them because I couldn't tell them from the world. But then when I got closer, I realized it was them. Something is wrong when we look like, act like, and go to places the world goes. To truly be in the church, we have to obey James 1:22. But be ye doers of the word and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves. We need to be like Job. I've heard of thee by the hearing of the ear. And this goes with James 1:22. Can't just hear it. Where Job was. He said, I've heard of thee by hearing the ear. But after this situation, he said, but now, mine eye seeth thee. I see God who he really is. He is holy, so I must be holy and take on his character. He is the true lover of my soul. And we must be aware, lest we raise a generation that does not know the God they sing about. God bless.